Hey team, I'm going to I'm going to set up this process to do podcast outreach and have it on Loom so that people can jump into the process where they need to. Also, Mike, we should put this on Recruiting Domination or Recruiting Agency 360 so that everyone can have access to this and my clients can see how we're doing this process because I think it's great. Okay, so first of all, I'll just do a little background. So what my team has done, which is amazing, is we use Asana to manage our workflows and our projects here. And so what my team has set up is a podcast process, and we've got some drafts here. Okay, let's see. So what the team does is they look for podcasts that would be relevant for me to guest on. Okay, and then for each podcast, they have a task here. I don't know if it's a separate task or an item in the task in Asana. So all I need to do is go to the task, and I can do it from my phone, which I do. And then my team has the link, all the links, and then two suggested episodes. Okay. And then there's an outreach draft here. So here I change this a little bit, and then my team can do that too. I was just setting up the process. So I'm using the subject line Diane Prince on, and this one's called Search Podcast. I'm going to call this Diane Prince on the Search Podcast, but we'll change that in a second when I show you. Okay. And then you can see we have a database of podcasts here that we're working from. And this is a combination of a good Fiverr resource that we use to find podcasts. We gave him some parameters of the podcast that would be good for my audience. And I can show you how to do that too and introduce you to the Fiverr gig. Someone else in the program has used that gig and it worked really well. And he charges I think it was it was under $30 to get all those podcasts. Okay. So then what my team does is they set it up so it's super easy for me. So if I'm ready for a podcast, if I'm doing my laundry or going for a walk or something like that, I can listen to a podcast. I always have notes around, or I use my phone for notes so that I can quickly take notes of things that I resonated with on the podcast. So I also noticed the guest would be a great member of the program, or coaching client of mine. So I'm going to reach out to him too. So I took some notes on things that I could say to Mike. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm using, I know a lot of you use Instantly or other outreach. I'm not doing cold outreach now. So I'm not active on Instantly now, but I have Mixmax set up to my emails. So I'm going to show you, oh wait, I don't want to do that. I'm going to show you how I will set this up in Mixmax. Okay, now you're going to see the ugly truth of my inbox. Okay, we'll go straight to Mixmax, and we're going to go to sequences, and I am going to create a new sequence, and I'm going to call this podcast guesting. Okay, we're going to do a folder. We can do that folder. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, and so this doesn't matter what email platform, you're probably not using Mixmax because Mixmax is not really scalable. I just love all of the other features of Mixmax. So I love their templates and things like that. I think you can do it with other things, but I've had it forever. So I just use, I used to use Mixmax for sequencing, but it's not really, it's pretty expensive to add. So whenever I'm sending from multiple domains, today, it's February 2024, Most of my clients are using Instantly for that because you can do multiple domains. But I'm only doing this I'm going to do this from my personal email. It's super warmed up and I'm not sending a ton, so I'm not going to get flagged or anything for spam. Okay, so now I'm going to set up sequences here and I'm going to use my podcast outreach. But I know this might be a little bit wonky, but here I've got this one here is in this space here. So I'm going to do this first and you'll see what I mean. Okay, so this is the subject. Okay. And name of show is going to end up being a variable. Okay, and this will be name. Oh, wait, actually. Okay. First name is like a normal variable. So name of show, let's see what we can do. This might need to be a customized variable. Yeah, this is going to be, okay, we're going to create, and you'll see when we do it at the spreadsheet, then that will make sense. Okay. So actually, I probably won't go through that whole thing because Instantly is different. Every app is different, but you know that you can do customized variables. So this I'm going to do as a customized variable on my spreadsheet when I add recipients to my leads. Okay, so I'm going to say loved your search podcast episode with, okay, and then I'm going to say like guest here. Okay, I'm going to do name of guest. And you can also make so many different things variables. You could even say about, and then what the podcast about can be another variable that you can add into your spreadsheet. Okay, so you can make, just because you're doing an email sequence doesn't mean that you can't customize it, because email sequences can be very customized. Okay, it's just really, you can think about it, not necessarily, sometimes you're using email sequences as a blast, but other times you will use them as a way to, you can do them one by one. You can even enter in most platforms, anyone I've used, you can enter by one by one by names. So it doesn't have to be mass. I'll come on here. Hi. Okay. So yes. So we'll keep on going here. Got this little weird hair thing coming out. Okay, that's right. Okay, so so then we're going to add a second, and this is Mixmax. So Mixmax by default will add, and I kind of like this. So sometimes even when I'm doing a different app, I'll do the RE. I kind of like that, but Mixmax does that by default. So sometimes I usually just leave it there because I like it. Okay, so now we're going to do, now I'm going to add a second one. And this is my outreach for my second one. Okay, so here I have another podcast that I was on. So I'm sharing. So anyway, basically I have this template. And if you want the template, if you're watching this and you're not in my program or anything, if you want the template, just write template in the comments. So like if you're watching this on LinkedIn or YouTube, just put template and I'll send you a link to get the template. If there's not, there might be, by the time you watch this, there might be a sign up to get the template. So if there is, then go on that. Okay. And so just setting it up like this, then I go here and then that's my second one. And then again, if we've got to go back and add the variables, which you'll do if you've done email sequencing before, you know how to edit these variables. So I'm not going to edit the variables in all of this. Okay. And Okay, so this, I'm gonna change this not to a variable, but on the template, you just put in your unique point of view. So I'm gonna say unique perspective on, I'm gonna say on the recruiting industry. I'm gonna say on entrepreneurship in the recruiting industry. Okay. I'm going to say entrepreneurship and the recruiting industry. Okay. And then we're going to go to number 3. Okay. And then if you've done, and I know it's kind of messy, so we're going to go back and have to make things consistent, like to match what the spreadsheets say. So name is all going to have to be, this is going to have to be, for example, first name. And then you want to fix format, like any formatting problems. For some reason, like this. Oh yeah, no, it's okay. That's all right. I was thinking that space was weird, but then we're going to the 4th. So basically, what's going to happen is that they might answer from the first email, and they might not. So what I've got going on is that when they don't answer, and why is that? Okay, I don't know if I have it set up so that it's RE. Oh, I guess it's just always going to be RE. That's okay. So then you'll see however you have it set up. So this is the first day, and then 3 days later, they're going to get the next. Then day 7, they'll get the next one, and you can set this up so that it's here. You see, it's just weekdays. If it's not yet replied. And if they reply, then they'll be taken out of the sequence. But probably know that if you're already doing sequences, okay? And if not, you can just Google how to do an email sequence, okay? And then, okay, here. So did we have 5? No, we don't have 5 yet. So this is 5. Okay, and then 6, we don't have a 6. Okay, so I have 5 in mind. I always say, like, the more the better when you're setting up an email sequence. I don't think for podcasting, I don't think it's going to require that many. So I'll see. Sometimes if I only have 5, for example, and the person doesn't get back to me, I will put them, if they haven't unsubscribed and haven't replied, I'll put them back in the sequence. So again, let me know if the link isn't there, but when you watch this, and just comment template or click on the link below wherever you're watching this, either in comments or below, and get the template so that you can use this process yourself. And in the comments or whatever, wherever you're watching this, let me know. Or if you're in Recruiting Agency 360, then let us know if you have any questions on how to do this process. So again, this is the process on reaching out to be a guest on other people's podcasts. I like to market through other people's audiences, and instead of I think it's a really good step before you dive into having your own podcast. I think it's great to guest on other people's and tap into other people's audiences. So the way to do that is to just recap, have someone on Fiverr make a list of podcasts. I get really specific and I tell them how big I want the audience, and I give them a few examples of podcasts that I know of that I'd like to guest on. And I also say, please include, because I need the email addresses and the names and the email addresses. And how you notice we have social media too. So I let them know, even the ones that I listen to, I might not have handy the email address of the host. So I ask the Fiverr gig to give me that information. And then I have a series of 5 emails, and my team works with the Fiverr gig, and then they break down the podcast. So it's super easy for me. So I can just pick up like 3 podcasts a week that I can listen to. And then, so if I wanted to make it more customized and say, hey, I heard your episode about this, I thought this was interesting, and it helps to get to know what the podcasts are before you reach out, so that you're listening. And then when you talk to them, you can also show them that you love their podcast. So anyway, hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and catch you later.